Hey guys, Kurt here from NK Garage, and last weekend I went to the flea market. Different flea market than I usually go to. I actually went to 2 flea markets this time that I'd never been to before. I'm expanding a little bit, trying out some new places to find tools, and it was definitely a success. So let's take a look at the haul. We'll start over here on the left as usual. I found this small anvil at the first flea market. It was 10 bucks, and it's nothing special. You know, it's pitted, it's old, it doesn't seem to have a maker's mark on it. It's a little ugly, but figured something I could put in my shed, and for 10 bucks, it's something good to hammer on. So figured why not? $10 anvil, I'll take it. Next up, I'm not really sure why I bought this. We already have one. This is one of those hole punch kits for punching holes in sheet metal. It's missing a couple of the bits, but it did come with the case and the tool, and I have been able to sell both the case and just the tool alone on eBay before. It's the Roper Whitney ink, number 5 junior. So I picked that up. I made a mistake. I saw this on a table. Guy said 15 bucks, and it said made in USA. I thought it was a Stanley number 80 cabinet scraper. I don't see any markings on here to show that it is a Stanley. I could be missing something, but who knows? Maybe it's a knockoff, or maybe it really is a Stanley, and maybe it just had a sticker, or it was labeled on the blade at some point. You know, the blade had some rust on it that had been cleaned off. There was some pitting here, so maybe I am missing the name. I'm not sure. Picked up this small Stanley block plane, I believe these are called. It was 4 bucks. It was at the first flea market. It's in pretty good shape. It's not a super old one at all. It's a rather modern version. But for 4 bucks, I figured why not. I got a chalk line made by Irwin. We just broke one the other day from our job trailer, so I figured it was 50 cents. A quick, easy replacement instead of fiddling around with trying to fix it. We lost the piece on the other one, so instead of trying to get all the string out of there and fix it, just bought a new one. This was pretty cool. This is a Diston Carpenter's Tri-Square. It's marked right here with the branding, Henry Diston and Sons, Philadelphia, USA. It's number 5.5. It's pretty cool. You know, these old squares are cool. I've never seen one with the Diston logo on it. Usually I get Stanley, so picked it up. It was pretty cheap. This here is an old scratch-all. It's marked Mayhew. It has this very heavy-duty metal cap, wood handle. Scratch-all isn't in the best shape, but it's not in the worst shape. Definitely can be used. It can be cleaned up and resharpened. And I thought it was a really cool, antique tool. The screw up here has been replaced. It's got a Phillips. Probably used to have a flathead. Got this push drill here. It is the Yankee number 41 made by North Brothers. And I thought it was really cool because it has the Bell system stamped on there. So it used to belong to the Bell system. This old egg beater drill. I don't normally pick these up because they're kind of hard to resell, and I don't really have a need for it or a want for it myself. But it's in really good shape, and right there you can find the Craftsman logo on it. And anytime I find anything Craftsman USA for a good price, I usually pick it up. They just make great items to feature on our eBay store, and it's cool. I get to play with it for a little bit and then pass it on to somebody else. I got half a ball peen hammer here. This is something I picked up probably for 50 cents. Figured I could clean it up and grab a new handle and make a hammer out of it. It's a nice little ball peen head. Those can be pretty useful, so I picked that up. Stanley sliding bevel gauge. Definitely dirty and rusty, but it should clean up fine. It's an old, USA made one. It's got the patent numbers on here. Craftsman ball peen hammer. Craftsman USA. It's a 12 ounce with a wood handle. I like wood handle. I think they're cool when they're in good shape anyways. This here, I've seen these, I believe, on the You Wanna Watch channel. George over there picks these up at his flea market, and he really likes them. He likes to restore them. So I picked this up, and George, if you want to restore this, let me know. I'll be happy to send it to you. He calls these the perfect handle screwdrivers. So if you want to fix this up, let me know. I picked it up thinking of you. I got this small little microscopic level here. It's all made with, I think, steel, and it's marked, I think it's a Stanley, USA. Pretty cool. I got two little tape measures here. This one here is Hubert, Cincinnati, Ohio. Cool little, thin little metal tape measure made in USA. This one here I also thought was cool. It's a Wizard Junior. Somebody wrote their name on there, but it's okay. It also says Lufkin Rule Co. on the back. So, I guess it was made by Lufkin, but it was also rebranded Wizard. Or it was called the Wizard, I'm not sure. It's a steel tape. Can use a little bit of work. There's some rust in there, but it could be saved. This, I just didn't know what it was, but it was marked Ellis Starrett, and I paid 50 cents for it. There's a patent number on there, or patent date, March 28th, 1905. So, I have no idea what it's for. I don't know what's going on with this. But, if you guys know, let me know. It spins, and it has all these numbers on here. So, obviously does something. Swing back over here. Got this giant pair of channel locks. I believe these are the 16.5 inch. Besides a little bit of surface rust and this plaster on here, they're in good shape. They work fine. Handles should clean up great. This is a $40, $50 tool at Home Depot, and I got it for 10 bucks. Talking about channel locks, I got this little guy too. I think this is like a 7 or 8 inch. This one's a little bit dirtier, but overall, just sat in a bad area. Oh, I'm realizing now it's chipped on the end. I gotta start paying more attention when I pick this stuff up sometimes. Sometimes I just grab a bunch of stuff real fast and I don't look at these little details. I didn't pay much for it all, but, it's kind of a bummer to see that stuff when you get home. Let's go through the pliers because I've got quite a lot of them. I've got the small pair of Craftsman Professional Robo Grips, USA made. Working order. Snagged this pair of Nippix pliers. It's snap ring pliers. These are really awesome. They just feel really sturdy. They're well made. Made in Germany. Nippix makes really good stuff. And I got that for probably $1. I got this little M. Klein & Sons. It's got the Lyman's logo in there. You can barely see it. Chicago, USA. It's a 4, maybe 4.5 inch pair of cutting pliers. It's number 245-5. The 5 probably means it's a 5 inch. That's my guess anyways. Craftsman, USA made cutting pliers. If that's a 5 inch, maybe this is a 6. Definitely cool. It's got black handles. Next up is the Crowder Supreme. I like the Crowder tools. I think they're really cool. And I like these old, engraved markings on the handles. This one, is the 2601-6, probably a 6 inch. Next up, a pair of Utica needle nose pliers, 654-6, so it's probably a 6 inch USA made needle nose. They're in okay shape. There was a little bit of something going on up here. It's a little bit gapped up top, but if you're not grabbing something super precise, it'll work just fine. Craftsman, Western Forge, USA, 45378. Pair of slip joint pliers. Diamond Duluth slip joint pliers. Probably a 7 or 8 inch with the chrome. Those should clean up good. This here, branded Pesco, PS&W Company, made in USA. Old steel handle, slip joint pliers. I have a thing for the old steel handle pliers, and I like to collect them and clean them up and restore them. This one here, CT Co. That's eventually got turned into Crescent. So made in Jamestown, New York. Another pair of slip joints. Nice little detail on the handle there. Now we're getting into some lineman's pliers. This first one here, branded Pexto. I think that's a super cool logo, if you guys can see that. It's number 500-7, so I guess it's a 7-inch lineman's pliers. A little bit of chip in there on the cutters, but not a big deal. This one, you're not going to see it on camera, I doubt it, but it's marked Barkalow Buffalo in here. A pair of Barkalow Buffalo pliers. I just thought these were super cool because I normally only come across Barkalow Buffalo tools with the wrenches. So to get a pair of pliers made by them, lineman's pliers, that was super cool. Utica, New York, 8-inch lineman's pliers. I like Utica tools too. Crowder and Utica make some of my favorite old pliers. This I paid $6 for. I really wanted it. This was at one of those sellers that they had tons of tools, so the guy obviously goes around and buys tools and then sells them at the flea market. A lot of this other stuff I picked out of bins from people that were selling all sorts of stuff, just looking to unload, and I would pay 50 cents a dollar for an item. But I paid $6 for this, and it's definitely worth it. You go and check these on eBay. I think they're $25, $30 per pair. It's got the Craftsman vanadium, so that dates it back pretty far back, maybe 30s, maybe early 40s. It's got a Circle C stamp down here. But the thing I really liked about these is they're like near almost unused. They've got patina from the age, but these are very, very tight in the joint. The cutters are practically unused. Look at the grips. Look at that. I mean, that's a nice pair of pliers. These things have just been preserved for years. So these should clean up really well. This is going to be part of my Craftsman collection. I've been putting together a collection of Craftsman tools in my shed, and this is going to be a nice piece to add to that. I've been collecting the Craftsman vanadium wrenches, and now I'm going to start with the pliers because this is just really cool. This is probably my favorite piece that I picked up. Wouldn't say it's the coolest piece, but it's definitely my favorite. It's something that, you know, that I came home with, and I know I'm going to have this pair of pliers forever. Another pair of Crowders. This one is 1831-8, 8-inch lineman's. This one's obviously been used a bit more than the previous pair, but still good pair of pliers. Somebody had plastic dipped them at one point. They covered up that detail on the grip, so I'll probably rip that right off. That should just come right off. Plastic dip is pretty easy to remove. I mean, this stuff's been on here for a long time, so I might have to get on here with the wire wheel, so maybe I'll get back to that. This is a pair of Crescent pliers. I was able to read on here USA Crestalloy, and they're just covered in grease and grime, just barely a little bit of surface rust, but the cutters look really good. Handles are just dirty. That should clean up nice. Nice good pair of end nippers. Got a couple of vice grips here. We've got the number 7 Dewitt Peterson vice grips. This one here is Craftsman brand. Craftsman with the circle I. This is also for my Craftsman collection. This one's definitely going to need a nice cleanup, but USA made. I've never really been a collector of the Craftsman vice grips. I've always just been a huge fan of the Dewitt Peterson vice grips, but given that I'm going to start collecting these Craftsman tools and I'm getting into the pliers, this will be a piece for the collection. And then we have the classic vice grips over here, the 10-inch. The original, made in USA since 1924. And this I bought for eBay. This is a Craftsman, the razor blade cutters. We have a couple pairs of these in the shop that Nick and myself had bought from Sears back in the day. And they're really useful, so I figured somebody out there probably can use this, so I picked it up for
with
about
the blade
$1.
storage.
It does. I wonder if there's blades in there. Nope. That's okay. This one just takes standard razor blades, so it shouldn't be too hard to find those. Let's go back down here to the middle. Got this snap-on screwdriver. It's the STD3, and it's the triangular hard handle. You see that aged cracking there. Warning, never use as a pry bar or chisel. I've never done that. Have you done that, Nick?
Never.
Never, right? Yeah, no, I would never do that. And I don't think this guy, I don't think he did that either. That just, got
Came like that from the factory.
Yeah. That's it's for those special curved slotted screws. Craftsman cushion grip screwdriver. These were offered for a short period of time in the 2000s, I think. It's the Phillips number 3. It's got some dirt and grime on it, but it should clean up good. These are hard to find if you're looking for replacements for a set or trying to complete a set, so that'll go on eBay. Once I clean it up, I'm sure somebody will be happy to have that. Got this little punch here. Ellis Starrett. It's 3/32, and it's got the sharp point on it. I bought these just for fun. I think they're just going to look cool hanging up on the pegboard. They got the square handle. I don't know whether they're called scissors or shears. I mean, I guess they're just scissors. They're cool. They're marked R&B USA or B&B. So hard to tell. I think it's B&B USA. Got this Flea extension for 3/8 drive, 6-inch extension. Mac Tools, Mac USA. It's the S13B. It's a drum brake tool. It's for the spring clips, I assume. And then this is some kind of adjuster. I don't know much about drum brakes. I've done them a couple times. I absolutely hate them. And recently we have upgraded to all discs. So,
Except on trailers.
trailers still have drum brakes, but we haven't done anything inside any of our trailer brakes. Craftsman, Western Forge, cold chisel, punch chisel, USA. Got a couple of small wrenches here. This is a 7mm Proto Professional with the black finish. Got a Electrolyte 3/8. SK 7mm. Craftsman 8mm. BF Japan. It's the molybdenum wrench. I was just talking about this the other day with Nick. He didn't know about these, but yeah, I guess they just added molybdenum to the steel. That's all I know.
That's a nice looking wrench.
9mm, old Flying V series, which is interesting to find. I don't find a lot of metric wrenches from the old Flying V series because that's like 40s through the 60s ish. 40 to 60, something like that. I'm not an expert, but that's an old wrench to get in a metric size, so that's an interesting find. This, I just kind of had to pick up. It was so funny. It's just so small. Little Bonnie double end wrench. 9/32 by 1/4 inch, I think. This I picked up. It's a G-door wrench, but instead of being made in India, like all the ones I usually find, it's made in Germany. It's a number 8M. G-door vanadium. 8mm ignition wrench. I can't keep myself away from curved wrenches, so I got this Billings and Spencer Co. I don't know if this 2000 is supposed to be on here. That might have been added later by some owner. It's marked with the old school type of sizing, so I guess that's for a 1/4 inch bolt, and the side's for a 3/16 bolt. Ford wrench. I pick these up all the time. I love these old Ford script logos. Old M wrench. Starter and manifold wrench made by Electrolyte Corp. Defiance, Ohio. Just a little dirty. This is one of those German auto kit wrenches. Has it. Sometimes they're marked DIN. I saw the logo on it somewhere, and I figured I'll clean it up and get it looking good again. Couple of extensions. 1/4 inch extension by Craftsman, 3-inch USA. Husky USA. It's a nice looking Husky USA made 1/2 inch drive extension. It's about a 5-inch. And I got another one. I actually bought them from 2 different sellers. But whenever I can get these USA made Husky tools, I usually pick them up if the price is right. Got an old Flying V sliding T-handle breaker bar for 3/8 drive. And I bought some ratchets. This one here is the Husky Pro. The guy I bought a couple of the rest of these Craftsman ratchets from, he gave me this for free at the end. So It was a nice little freebie for him to throw in. But these are made in like Taiwan or something. From him, I also bought this 1/4-inch drive quick release ratchet, made in USA. I bought both of these. I call them the tri-wing ratchets. I think I've heard people say that before. These are not made in USA. I think maybe they're made in Japan or possibly Taiwan. But these things can take a beating. So I picked them up because they were pretty cheap. They definitely need to be cleaned up. I got to open them up and re-grease everything. But I like these because I don't feel bad beating on them, and they really do take a beating. I've hit them with hammers very hard.
They are good hammers.
And they make hammers as well. Nick is correct. I got this Flea ratchet, 3/8 drive, USA made. I believe Flea was like a Proto brand, kind of like an off-brand of Proto, or they were bought out by Proto at some point. Another Craftsman ratchet, quick release, V-Series. And the last one here is a Proto. This one was actually $1. Normally I don't get ratchets for $1, but this one was $1. And it's actually in great shape. Everything works fine, besides all of this going on here on the knurling, but I mean for $1, the ratchet works great. We'll go back over here again. I got Craftsman magnetic tip screwdriver. I picked these up when I think they'll clean up nice. This one's just got a little dirt on it, but these sell well on eBay. I usually just grab a couple bits. I have tons and tons of these bits up here. They come from every time we get toolboxes in large lots. I get tons of them, so I'll throw like 10 bits in with a screwdriver, resell it on eBay. I love these, and you know, I'd be happy to have other people, you know, be able to have one as well. Got 2 of these clear handle yellow Proto screwdrivers. These are probably some of the best I've ever seen, because normally they don't look this nice. Both Phillips. I guess Phillips number 1 and 2. I might resell these as a set. I haven't started my Proto collection. I just don't have enough space to have a collection for every brand of tools. Eventually, I plan to have some kind of basement or garage somewhere, and I can hang things on the wall with different areas of different tool brands and kind of get some signs and stuff and make it really cool. So eventually, I'll be looking for those again. But for now, I'll pass them on. Husky, USA made, number 2, Phillips stubby. 2, Craftsman orange handle, number 2 stubbies. Both of these should clean up good. I bought these from 2 different sellers. The guy that I got this one from, I asked him, "What do you want for this?" It's the only thing I want to buy from him, and he said, "Just take it." So I gave him $1. I just felt like I should give him something. Barkalow Buffalo. This is the open end and like the 12-point box end on the other side. I think these are really cool. This is an interesting wrench. 7/8 and 3/4. I got 2 Billings engineer wrenches. These are pretty dirty, but they're in good shape. They should clean up well. I have a thing for engineers wrenches. This is one of those German auto kit wrenches, DIN 894, West Germany, 27 millimeter. I looked this up on eBay when I bought it because these can sell for pretty good money. A lot of people are looking for these to put in their vintage cars, Volkswagens, Porsche, and this is like a $30 wrench on eBay. J.H. Williams, number 2 Bulldog. My first alligator wrench. I've been doing tool hauls and videos on tool hauls for like almost a year and a half now. I've been buying tools, you know, since I started using tools when I was 16. I had never gotten an alligator wrench before, so.
Why do they call it an alligator wrench?
This one is interesting because it has the flat side. Normally they're grooved on both sides, I believe. Blue Point Supreme, thin little tappet wrench, 3/4 by 7/8. Another Blue Point wrench, the round handle style, 7/16 by 1/2 inch. Billings Vitaloy, I love that triangle B, 3/4 by 7/8 double box. And adjustable wrenches. So normally when I go out and I buy adjustable wrenches, we tend to have quite a few hanging around here. So unless I get a unique size that I don't have, or if I get a really, really cool one or a brand that we don't have, that's the time that I'll keep them. So I was able to get this Boker, H. Boker USA. I have never seen a Boker adjustable wrench before, so I had to pick that up, and it's in great shape. This here is a Craftsman. This is an old Circle Y I don't know what time period this puts it in, but it just looks like the 1940s to me. Super cool. Definitely vintage. Another Craftsman USA 8-inch. This one's just, this is definitely a good user. Nothing too special, but it's a good usable wrench. It actually works pretty nice right now. 10-inch Craftsman USA. Another 10-inch Craftsman USA. Then there's another one that I didn't have before. Indestro Super. I've never gotten an Indestro adjustable wrench before, so I had to get it. There's some kind of markings in here, but it's in great shape otherwise. 12-inch Diamond Duluth. This one I grabbed and I just snagged it right up. Like, you know, literally like I'm holding diamonds in my hands, diamond hands. And you guys know that these old Diamond Caulk Horseshoe Company, these wrenches are very collectible. Well, I got home and realized it's broken. Now, I don't know if that just broke on me or if it was broken before I picked it up and I just didn't even notice. So I'll probably sell it for parts on eBay. I'm hoping somebody else out there has a good jaw but has a bad wrench, because this wrench, look at the detail on this. This is just awesome. This will be on the eBay store if anybody's looking. I'll try to get this listed pretty soon. I'll put a fair price on it too. So the wrench itself is, yeah, the rest of it is in there, but snapped in half. So it'll be there for parts. Maybe you need the screw, but like I said, the whole handle of the wrench, if yours is bent or been hammered on or just completely rusted, and maybe you can make something out of it. 12-inch Crescent USA, the red rubber grip. Always pick those up. These make great wrenches. I put them in our trucks. The rubber grip is nice when you're out in the field. And I don't care about them as from a collection standpoint because they're nothing special. So I usually put these in our to-go bags. And then we got this right with the Tootsie Roll grip, 1/2-inch breaker bar, USA. I got this for $4. It's a great price on a breaker bar like this. Not really used that much. Doesn't have any ball detents on it. It just kind of spins freely. And I got a handful of sockets back here. So we'll go through it real quickly. This is just some Craftsman USA, some metric stuff. I got these two snap-on, 11 and 12 millimeter deep, 6.3H drive. In excellent shape. SK Tools, 24 millimeter, 12-point, 1/2-inch. Got some old Craftsman gems. Look at the nice quality of these. These are the old school ones with the old knurled bottoms. These are definitely super old and they're in awesome condition. Same thing with this one. The underline C logo right there, 5/8 BE series. Craftsman 10 millimeter, can't have enough of those. Matco 11 millimeter impact. I always pick up these Craftsman screwdriver bit sockets. Those will be for my personal collection. Mac socket here, Sabina, Ohio, 5/8. Some more SK metric stuff. Indestro Super, 3/8. Craftsman 10 millimeter again. SK metric 17 millimeter. And a tiny little itty bitty Craftsman 4 millimeter. So that's it for today's haul. I paid $200. That was my budget at the flea market this week. And I think I got a heck of a deal for $200. I picked through 2 different flea markets, probably 20, 30 different vendors that I actually bought from. And I visited 200 different stalls, different vendors looking for stuff. So I definitely hunted all it down, but I'm super happy. I got a lot of stuff for myself for our collection. We got stuff for the shop. And I got a bunch of stuff that'll probably go on our eBay store. So if you guys want a chance at some of this stuff, check that link is down in the description below. All YouTubers get 10% off. Just use the coupon code NKYouTube and go take a look, browse. You don't have to buy anything. I'm not forcing you to, but would appreciate it if you did. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Leave a comment below. Let us know what your favorite tool is. I think mine is still the Craftsman pliers, just because condition, rarity, and just coolness factor of this. So that's it for today. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys next week.